well. But I want to make sure to show you this really cool clock that I found online that you could bring up on your computer and use to help you do some practice or to check your work on these time problems that we have. So up here you can see the website. It's visnos.com/demos /clock. So me saying that was probably not the most helpful thing. You'll have to look at that. And I'm going to include a link to this in our parent materials guide so that you'll just be able to click on it. But if you're looking at it right now, hopefully you can see the text there. And this is a super cool clock. There's a lot of different things that we can do with this. So right now it is showing me a time here on the clock. And then we have the digital clock that tells me what that's showing. So I can see here my hour hand, ooh, it's getting really close to the 1, but it's not there yet. It's between the 12 and the 1. So this is still the 12 o'clock hour. Then my minute hand, oh yeah, this one's looking pretty tricky. It's kind of like in the middle between 2 minutes, but it hasn't gotten to this minute here yet. So we're still down here. So I can figure out that this is, well, 9 times 5 is 45. So 46, 47. This is 12:47. This one even has the second hand on it. So we could see right there, it says in 31 seconds. So that could help you understand the second hand if you want to learn that as well. It's not something that we're going to be focusing on in the work that you have to do, but it's good to know as well. All right, so what we can do with this clock is I can click on this hour hand and move it, and you can see as the hour hand is progressing to the next hour, my minutes are ticking by. Look at them ticking by from 2 o'clock, and now I'm moving to like 2:20, 2:25, past 2:30, up to 2:45. Oh, it's almost 3 o'clock, and boom, we got to 3 o'clock. Okay, so you can move it around and test out some different times and check them on the digital clock. Or here's where it really gets good. See this button under here that says off? Turn it off. Our time is gone. We only have it over here on the clock. So what you can do is you can, maybe, set yourself a time. Be like, oh, that looks like a good one right there. Let me try this one. Or if you don't want to set your own time, you can roll the dice and it'll set a time for you. I kind of like to roll the dice. That's cool. All right. So then we can look and see what the time is on the clock, and then we can turn the clock back on to double check our answer. So right here, I've got my hour hand, which is almost to the 9. Some people want to say 9 o'clock. No, not yet. It's between the 8 and the 9. So that means we're still in the 8 o'clock hour. Now right here, I've got my minute hand pointing just past the 10. So 10 times 5 is 50, plus 1 more would be 51. So 8:51. I'm thinking since my second hand hasn't quite made it around to that hour, it might still tell me 10:50, but it's right between 10:50 and 10:51. So I'm going to hit the 12, to turn my clock back on, and you can see, oh, I said 10:50, excuse me, 8:50 or 8:51. So you can see it's almost 8:51. We've got to get those seconds back up here to the top to get right at 8:51. But if you said 8:51, you're close right now. You're only a few seconds away. So that's kind of fun to be able to roll the dice and try to read the time on the clock and then check your time on the digital clock. So you can turn it off, you can turn it back on. Now this 24 here is in case you were using like military time. My husband always tells time this way because he is a police officer, but that would just be fun. We're not going to really be using that too much. So we keep it on 12. You can see it has the PM for the evening time, or it turns to AM for morning times. You can check and see what the real time of day is by clicking on that. And you can turn it off if you just click on it again, and then you can start moving it. Okay, there is a section down here that can help you with elapsed time. We're not learning that quite yet, but we will be learning about elapsed time in our next week. So you could come back and use this later to double check your elapsed time if you'd like. So just to review, you can turn off your time, set a time that you want to see on your clock. try to read it, hit the 12 and check that time to see if you were correct. Or you could turn off that time there, roll the dice, try to read that time, click on it, double check what you got, okay? Well, I hope you have fun with this. You are going to be doing some reading games, actually, where you're going to have to read time this week. So you're going to have practice reading the time off of a clock, and then you're also going to have practice in drawing the hands on a clock yourself. So remember, when you're drawing those hands on the clock yourself, make sure you're thinking about, okay, look, this 3:51, well, that hour hand is getting really close to the 4. It's not quite there yet. And then my minute hand is pointing right at 51. So think about where you're putting that hour hand. If it's 3:51, don't just point right at 3. You know that you're getting close to 4 o'clock, so you're going to have to move that hour hand over a little bit. Think about that when you are working on that activity this week. Okay, so use your time notes. Use this on the computer to help you. And then I also did a video for how you can make your own clock at home. If you need that video, you can watch that separately. Use those things and practice telling time. It's a great skill. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye, guys.